Merry Christmas, Raven fans. Say hi. Everybody out there, to all the Ravens fans out there watching, and we just saw it. Merry Christmas, everybody, to one and all. Thank you for joining us here. Obviously, we all have our families, our lives are here today, but our biggest celebration, I think, is one another, keeping each other. So thank you very much for taking any time with me. All of you here, I see people here. That's awesome, man. Today it's Christmas Day. A lot of other things you could be doing, but we're watching football today. I wanted to be here because we did have a Ravens game today, and we gonna have a final. This was really convincing, obviously. 31-2, Ravens over the Texans. This is not close, decisive, to say the least. We've learned a lot about the AFC today as well. So let's take care of a little business, a little housekeeping before we do anything else here. Genesis Notary Services, that's facebook.com. So definitely Genesis Notary Services. If you go to Google and put in Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia, I will definitely pop up. Definitely, if you need any notary work, especially coming here in 2025, we'll be happy to do it for you. Hopefully, we can grow the notary business as this has grown as well. See Charles Harris, wearelegalshield.com. Absolutely check us out for that. We are Legal Shield. We'd be happy to go ahead and get you squared away. Anything that you need legally done or anything like that, we'd be happy to go ahead and get all that squared away for you. The value is tremendous. You can save a lot of money. I know we're living in very expensive times right now, but Legal Shield is a great way if you have legal issues, especially if you're business owners, to go ahead and get that squared away as well. All right. So look at that. 31-2. This was a rout from start. This was not close. This was never in doubt. There was nothing. There was almost no resistance from Houston today. I thought this was about as dominant as the Ravens have looked. That includes the Giants. Like there was almost a zero from Houston today. There was nothing there from them as well. So let's go over it. We're going to talk a little bit about the other game too. All right. So happy to go ahead and go over that and talk about the Chefs and the Steelers, which really wasn't in doubt either for the most part. 31-2, Ravens over the Texans here. So let's go over this as well. Look, oh no, that's the wrong graphic. That's for management appreciates your cooperation. All right. Needless to say, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are the best running back duo in the NFL. There was no answers for them today. No answers for Derrick Henry running football. No answers for the play action pass. The Ravens offense was, for the most part, clicking on all cylinders. They found the formula. Both are in the MVP conversation. I think them running the football early, establishing Derrick Henry was key. I think it was 148 today. It's amazing he's still second in the league. That tells you what Saquon Barkley's doing. Clicking on all cylinders, running the football. Outstanding stuff from Derrick Henry today in Lamar. Lamar getting the long run, showing he still has that blazing speed down the field, gliding wide open. Nothing from Houston's defense today. Nothing. They got a little pressure early in the game. That was it. After like the second, third drive, it was all Ravens in this one. Ravens defense was solid. Obviously, you only gave up the one. They didn't even give that up. That was a safety that the Ravens offense gave up early in the game. They were solid. Look, Kyle Van Noy, I think a lot of fans are missing how good Kyle Van Noy has been. This is exactly, again, I'm going to say it one more time, exactly the type of player that John Harbaugh, Eric DeCosta, Ozzie love. Not that expensive, veteran guy, hungry, fundamentally sound, handles his assignments well, gets a sack, plays within system, probably doesn't go back. I don't know him personally, but he probably doesn't go back to playing, handles his job very well. This was a guy who was essentially out of football early last year. So he got with the Ravens in a reserve role, and he's just been fantastic. I think it's 11 sacks total for Van Noy. Outstanding. Odafe Oweh was fantastic as well. Great pickup. I think you can say this has been a good year overall for Odafe Oweh. I don't think he's been as dominant as some people have hoped, but this is his ninth sack today. It's been in spurts. I mean, the only thing with him, we just got to get him more consistent, more, every week where he seems to have bursts of a really good play. Got to just get him more consistent. But overall, no problem. I did notice Trent Simpson has been effectively benched. I don't think he played at all in any of the meat and potatoes. Maybe at the end he did. But Chris Board and Malik Harrison pretty much went most of the way today. I didn't really see. If he did play, I didn't see him. I mean, I didn't see him play much at all. Maybe here and there. Maybe somebody in the chat comments will go ahead and tell me. But I didn't see almost any of Trent Simpson. Tells you what they might do in the draft. I think this is going to be the formula in the playoffs. You got Harrison and Board. Not guys you're going to build around in the long term, but definitely guys that can get you through the playoff run the last few weeks. Vets, been there, been in the playoffs. Guys that have been in the league for several years. I definitely think we're going to see less of Trent Simpson going forward. A little bit of a nitpick, but if you don't win it, it's going to be because of the offensive line in this sense. Now somebody might be sitting there saying, well, why are we even talking about the line as good as they played today? The right side, the right guard is just not good enough, guys. Every time I saw anything today, was good as Henry was, as good as the offensive line was as a whole, they were able to get. But every time I saw it was something, it was right guard. It's been that way all season for the most part. Like I'm amazed that there's no change been made at right guard. I don't know what to say at this point. I don't know why Ben Cleveland and Voorhees are sitting on the bench watching Daniel Falele struggle. I don't get it. I wrote it down. Like, why has that? I don't know why they're continuing on with this long. I don't get it. I mean, you're doing so well. I think because they've been doing so well, they've been masking it. They've put Ricard on his side, They've done some things. But hey, but why don't you get Voorhees or Ben Cleveland in the game so you don't have to mask this? I mean, they run on the right side. I mean, there's gaping holes. Stanley's done a great job. McCary up and down. He's better. I think he's a better pass blocker than a run blocker, or whatever. Linderbaum, I think might be a Pro Bowl. Had a Pro Bowl season, but man, you're just that right guard. I mean, I don't get it. I don't for the life of me don't understand why they're trying so hard to play Falele. I don't understand this at all. Mark Andrews is still around. Great catch in the first half. 50 plus yards. This is a proper role for a great tight end. He knows exactly what Lamar wants. Excellent chemistry with Lamar Jackson. He has an understanding of where to go and get the football. He always has, even in smaller doses now. They're looking for Zay Flowers more, but Andrews is still there, still has that knack to get open, still has that excellent blocking, asking him to block more, and he's doing it. So shout out, Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, 2 catches, I think 68 yards today. I think he's been fantastic. I think that's gonna put him over, I think 600 yards, 700. Okay. No reason to panic. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, definitely with all the weapons that you have, definitely at the core is Mark Andrews as well as one of the vets. And again, you win by this much. You're nitpicking a little bit. I will say this. I have wanted to talk about this and haven't really had a chance to go over it. I'll say this. The rookies haven't done a thing this year. Nothing. I don't know. Like Roger Rosengarten at tackle has kind of played the most. He's played fairly well, I think, for a rookie. I don't think he's been incredible as a rookie. I think his pass blocking still needs work, but he's fine in the run game. I mean, his zone run blocking, there's no issue at all. But his zone run game is no issue at all. But they have gotten nothing from Wiggins. Went out of the game today. He got hurt. He's been playing the most. But Isaac, again, inactive. Des Walker played last week. Not really anything this week. TJ Tampa hasn't really helped them. Rasheen Ali, he got knocked out again today. Next time, nothing. You got nothing from the rookies. So going forward, it is a bit of a concern about this rookie class because you really haven't gotten anything from the rookies. You want to get some more snaps from the rookies, and you haven't gotten anything. So that's a bit of a concern going forward because you haven't gotten anything from that. Interesting to see what happens there. I am going to talk a little bit about the Chefs and the Steelers because now we know in the AFC a lot more, I think, than we did at the beginning of the day. So we have the 4 of the top 5 seeds play in the AFC. The Chefs and the Squealers, along with the Ravens and Texans, and this one for the top 5 seeds. Clear separation now. Chefs, Bills, Ravens, right back where we were. There is no question about whether or not they are the best teams in the AFC. Kansas City, you got to look. Kansas City has struggled this year. At times, a lot of close games, a lot of close to the best. Mahomes, 320 yards, 3 TDs today. He looked outstanding. He's been getting better the last few weeks. I've noticed that. Ever since DeAndre Hopkins has been on there, he's been getting better the last few weeks. I was really impressed with the Chefs' defense with Chris Jones on the shelf. Jones really didn't play today at all, and still defensively, they had a really good effort from a lot of their defense today as well. 2 sacks from Mike Dana. I think they had like 6 sacks total. Karlaftis is 1 interception by Justin Reed. They really look good on defense, despite of the fact as well that their main guy, Chris Jones, didn't play. Secondary really looked good too. Trent McDuffie gave up the 1 pass to Pickens, but that was really all they got today as well. Look, I've been watching a lot of the Steelers sites saying that they're a fraud. I'm not saying they're a fraud because I think this is kind of what they've been all year long. They good defense, not great. 3 straight weeks, play really good teams. Baltimore, Philly, KC, they've struggled. Defense hasn't been able to hold together. They haven't been able to score as many points against really good teams. So they're a playoff team, solid team, not in that playoff tier, not in that tier with the Chiefs, Ravens, and Bills. I think clearly there's huge separation. The Steelers, the next tier, Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Denver, playoff, I think, but that's as far as they're going to go. Maybe you make a run, you never know, in the playoffs. But definitely a lot of information we got. Ravens by themselves in first. So now if there's one more game against the Browns, which is next Sunday, a while from now, they're going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and be able to play in the last game as well. We don't know what times and the dates and things like that. It is a chance if there's still a loss, they may be resting players. That's a possibility. If the Ravens, the Steelers are playing at 1:00 and the Ravens are playing at like 4:00, they schedule it at 4. It's possible that they may be able to get the field if a Steeler loss resting players. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we will see on that as well. Good stuff. Ravens first in the division. Steelers and Chiefs playing earlier. So thank you very much for joining us here. Happy Kwanzaa tomorrow for all of you out there. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year coming. We will have our regular sports podcast next Wednesday night as scheduled. Had to do it a little early because of the game. Thank you. Merry Christmas to all. Y'all have a good evening.